What's up, guys? Figured I'd show you this thing. I'm almost getting back to the StarCraft. It's going to be the next thing that comes in the garage here. So I'm sure some of you guys are kind of waiting for me to get that thing out on the water, and trust me, so am I. So, but in the meantime, I couldn't pass this up. The boat, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the boat is roached. I mean, it's junk. It would need completely redone, and it's really bad. But the guy hit me for $1,100 on this thing, and it's got a diverter on it, and it's a JE. So there's your place diverter, and we needed that for Dave's boat. So, you know, to buy them new, they're like $1,000, $1,100 just on their own. So the cable's obviously junk, but the nozzle and the shifter up there is good. So, so it's got that, and it's got a 455 with an aluminum intake on it, and KA cylinder heads. So it's, chances are it's got the bigger valves in the heads. Most, it seemed, from what I was reading, most of the KA heads had the bigger valves. So I'm probably going to keep this guy. If anything, the 455 that was in my Cobra Jet, it spun a rod bearing. So if anything, I'll just rob the crank out of this thing, and definitely the aluminum intake. I've been running a iron intake on my 455. So, but once you get the thing out or whatever and get it on a stand, and we do a compression check and everything, and if everything kind of checks out on this thing, I might just leave it alone, you know, and just drop it right in the Cobra Jet and see how many seasons I can get out of it. So I don't know. Who knows how long it's been sitting, though. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of faith that the thing even turns. He said it would, but I mean, look at the rest of this boat. It's just, she's in pretty bad shape. And it looked like on the tag up there, it looked like it last had been in the water was 97, or before 97, so who knows, but whatever, I'll pull it out. But what I didn't really realize, like I'm not a huge fan of these Glastrons. Really. There's some, like a CVX-20 is a cool looking boat, but like, I'm just not a huge fan of the style of these boats. I know some guys are. They really like these things, but I don't know. They don't really do it for me. But I didn't realize how rare this boat actually is. You know, I was had tunnel vision. I was looking at the it's a CV-18, by the way. I was just looking at the parts. You know, I didn't think much of it. I was, you know, for $1,100, and I'm getting a 455 and a place diverter out of it. You know, I looked into it though, and like, these things were only made in the early 70s for a few years. Like, they're actually like really scarce. They're hard to find. And if you look it up, you try and Google these things, you just get a bunch of pictures of CVX-18s, which is a lot more common. Doesn't look anything like this. A lot lower profile, you know, skinnier little boat. It's really hard to find any information about this boat. But I did find a few listings of like restored versions of these boats, and in descriptions of both of them, the owners were talking both of them were talking about how hard to find these things are, how hard the parts are to find for them. So, you know, I was initially just like, let's just tear the pump out of it, tear the engine out of it, and just just take the boat to the landfill, you know, and then take this nice tandem axle trailer underneath it and maybe refurbish it and sell it for, you know, $800-900 or something if it was cleaned up and rewired. But now I'm knowing how rare these are, I'm debating on pulling the 455 but kind of leaving everything else in here, you know, so it's set up, still set up for a 455, you know, leave the manifolds in. These are the Berkeley package jet manifolds. Anyways, they're not really ideal for making any kind of horsepower. Like, I could leave all of this stuff in here and actually leave the pump, you know, because we could take the you take the diverter off of this, but then put Dave's standard nozzle on it, you know, and then you'd have a complete JE pump again, just without a diverter. You know, and then maybe you could sell this to somebody, you know, if you can make a little bit of money back, then that'd be ideal. You know, somebody who's, you know, I gotta believe there's some old fart that's trying to find this damn boat and is actually willing to put the time in to fix it. But I don't know, maybe not. But the outside of the hull is in good shape, but you know, it needs all the stringers, needs all of that stuff done. I'm assuming the transom's probably not any good either. But yeah, if anybody's watching and knows of somebody or that might be interested in this boat, let me know in the comments. I doubt it, but you know, I'm throwing it out there either way. I'm in mid-Michigan, so. But yeah, I'm gonna get the motor and nozzle out of this thing here shortly, and get rid of this thing one way or another, and then we're gonna be bringing the Starcraft in here into the shop and getting that thing ready to rock. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.